Hello students, good afternoon and welcome to the session. In this session we are going to discuss the five questions that were asked in the unit test, and that belongs to the which category? That belongs to the physics portion. So there were two 1 mark questions. Okay, so 1 plus 1 and two marks questions, so 2 plus 2, and one question was of 3 marks. So overall if you see, the total weightage from the physics portion is about it was 9 marks. So out of 25, the 9 marks are belonging to the portion physics. So now, without wasting any time, let's start the session and discuss the answers of the questions that were asked in the unit test. So the first question was saying define okay, because this was question number 3, and the question was saying define electric potential and give its SI units. So define electric potential and give its SI units. So students, we do have to define the electric potential. So I hope you know that electric potential is the amount of work done. Electric potential is basically what? It is the difference between 2 points VA minus VB. It will be equal to, so students, it is equal to work done from B to A. Basically what is there, you can note down this point. Wait, basically what will happen, this is V final point potential minus initial point potential, and this is equal to work done for by taking the charge from initial position to final position, and this is divided by work done per unit charge. So you can define, we will take basically initial potential V infinity, because potential, we assume that potential at infinity is equal to 0. So we get only potential definition. This is equal to potential at a particular point A is defined as work done for bringing the charge from infinity to a point. So we bring the charge from infinity to a point A, and work done per unit charge is equal to potential difference. So this definition, basically this definition belongs to class plus 2, but in the class 10th you have to know that what do you mean by electric potential. So electric potential is the amount of work done in bringing the charge from infinity to a particular point. So work done per unit charge, and you can write its unit as joule. Work done means energy, so joule per coulomb. This can be the unit of electric potential. But students, basically after you know that, okay, what do you mean by current? Current is basically charge per unit time, so its unit is coulomb per second. But we do not use this unit, we named it as ampere. What we named it? We named it as ampere. In the same way, potential is equal to work done per unit charge. Its unit can be joule per coulomb, but this is not the SI unit. Joule per coulomb is named as volt. So its right answer will be volt. Firstly, you have to write the definition, and if you have mentioned the proper unit of electric potential, then obviously 1 mark will be rewarded to you. So this was the question number 3. After that you have question number 4, which was belonging to the physics category. This was another very important questions. Many students were got confused in this question. The length of wire is tripled, how does its conductivity will change? I will discuss it in detail, because many students are facing problem and I don't know why they are facing some problems. Let's suppose this is wire, its length is L, area is A. So L into A, this will be volume obviously. So its previous resistance, let's suppose the previous resistance is will be R. So R will be equal to rho into L by A. So this is the first case basically. If you know about the conductivity is 1 by rho. So 1 by rho will be equal to 1 by rho. This is basically denoted by sigma. So sigma will be equal to 1 by rho, and it is equal to L into L divided by RA. So this is the value of sigma for the first case. Let's now take the example of second wire. This wire is now stretched. So now this wire is stretched and its length becomes thrice. So in this case, volume should not change, so length becomes thrice. If length is 3L, then obviously area will be reduced to A by 3. Because what will happen? Volume will not change. This 3 and 3 will cancel out. This 3 and 3 will cancel out, and again the volume will be equal to L into A. So volume should be same, because on stretching volume does not change. So let's discuss what will be the new resistance. So new resistance is R dash. New resistance is R dash. So this will be equal to R dash will be equal to rho into L 3L by, okay, let's suppose it is rho dash. If some students are thinking that resistivity will change or conductivity will change, let's take it as rho dash. So L into 3, and this will be A by 3. A by 3. So basically students, you can understand in this way also, but you can understand in another way also, that okay, I think this will confuse you. This thing will confuse you. So basically students, on stretching, basically resistivity will depend on which factors? Resistivity will depend on material. It will depend on the earlier method. You are not supposed to follow the earlier method, that will confuse you. So it will be material depending and temperature depending. So many students have given this will be tripled, this will be halved. Why you are giving that answer? Resistivity is depending on the material and temperature, and conductivity is what? Conductivity is reciprocal of resistivity. So sigma, it is the symbol for conductivity. Conductivity is equal to reciprocal of resistivity. So if resistivity is not depending on the stretching, or after stretching resistivity does not change, then obviously conductivity will also remain unchanged. So its answer will be, how does the conductivity change? The conductivity will be same as earlier. So it will not change, or you can say it will be same as earlier. So this will be the answer for question number 4. बच्चे वो मेथड मत फॉलो करना जो मैं बता रहा था, ठीक है? दैट विल ऑब्वियसली कंफ्यूज यू, ठीक है? क्योंकि आर डैश भी हमें फाइंड आउट करनी है. बेसिकली रीज़न ही यही है कि कंडक्टिविटी एंड resistivity and conductivity both are opposite. So that's why if resistivity will not change, then obviously conductivity will also not change. So this was the 1 mark question, and your answer should be, there will be no change in the conductivity. So 1 mark will be awarded to all the students who have given that conductivity of the wire will not change. Let's discuss the question number. This was question number 4. Then after that I think question number 13 was there. 14. Okay. So this was the question, will the current will flow more easily through thick wire or thin wire? So as you know, you have to give the explanation. As we know, resistance is equal to, or you can write here, resistance is inversely proportional to area. So more will be the area, more will be the thicker wire, lesser will be the resistance. So that means if there are two wires, a thick wire and a thin wire, then obviously thick wire has less resistance, so current will flow easily through the thick wire. So thick wire will be the answer for the question number 14. You have to explain it by writing this simple explanation, and obviously 2 marks every student will get who will answer the question properly. Okay, so this was question number 14, and then we have question number 15. The question number 15 was question number 15 many students have attempted, and some of them are obviously have attempted the right one, but some of them not. So three wires ABC have given length, have same length and same area of cross section. Now basically what you have to assume, the same current here. Okay, wait, raise. Basically what you have to do, you have to take the current same. After that you have to see which wire has maximum voltage. So maximum voltage is for A, so that means resistance of wire A, RA, is greater than RB is greater than RC. So this is basically the resistance. So resistance of wire A is greater than resistance of wire P, and it is greater than resistance of wire C. So then what will happen? If resistance of wire A is more, then obviously resistivity, because they have same length, same area of cross section, so that means resistivity of wire A is less than is greater than resistivity of wire B, and it will be resistivity of wire C. So now you can see which wire has maximum resistivity. Maximum resistivity belonging to A, so its conductivity will be minimum. So conductivity of A will be minimum. Now we have to write the conductivity in the descending order. So when I am talking about conductivity in the descending order, then obviously lowest conductivity will come here. In this way I will write conductivity, and it will be the descending order, maximum, and minimum. So minimum conductivity, maximum resistivity, maximum resistance or maximum resistivity, minimum conductivity. Conductivity इसकी लेस होगी जिसकी resistance सबसे ज़्यादा. So that means rho कम, sigma A will come here, sigma B will come here, and sigma C will come here. So this will be the order. Many students have mentioned C greater than B greater than A. That is also right option, but sigma will be the symbol that will be used for conductivity. So this was question number 15, first part. So I hope it is right. Firstly you have to check which wire has maximum resistance, RA greater than RB greater than RC. Then resistivity, obviously because they have same length and area. So resistance of A will be more if its resistivity will be more. So resistivity of A is greater than resistivity of B, and it will be greater than resistivity of C. Then we have if resistivity of A is maximum, then its conductivity will be minimum. And in which way we have to write? We have to write the conductivity of ABC from the following graph in the descending order. So this will be the minimum value will come here. When we move from left to right, then the value of conductivity should decrease. So I hope it is clear. Sigma C greater than sigma B, and sigma it will be greater than sigma A. This will be the answer for question number 15, first part. Then students, for the second part, the VI characteristics are shown for two resistances and their series combination. So this type of question we have discussed many times, but still some students have mentioned the wrong answer. And I have also taken the same parameters. I was taking V on the y-axis and I on the x-axis. In many questions the examiner will confuse, but I have asked simple question. We have asked very simple questions. So take the current constant from here. After taking the current constant, you can see voltage for C will be minimum. Wait please, this is current common, and after that voltage for C will be minimum, voltage for B will be intermediate, and voltage for A will be maximum. So if voltage for A will be maximum, that means resistance of A, wait please, that means resistance of A will be maximum. So which wire has which will be the maximum resistance among two resistances? So if two resistances are there, their series combination, he is saying series combination na. So which obviously if two resistances will be of 4 and 4 will be combined, then we get 8. So that means resultant resistance will increase when we connect two resistances in series. So which wire will represent the series combination? Wire A. Students, please note down, wire A will represent the series combination of resistances B and C. Okay, so two resistances, or you can say wire A represent the series combination of two resistances. I hope this is also clear. So this was the explanation for choice in the 15th question. So we have discussed the, I think, 4 questions. Yes, 2 mark 1 mark question and 2 1 mark question and 2 2 marks question. So for 2 2 is the 4 plus 6. So it will be 6 marks question. So 6 marks questions we have discussed, and we are left with one question, that is Ohm's law. So in the next state Ohm's law, and with the help of circuit diagram, and hence define 1 ohm resistance. So I hope it is also a good question, and many students have given it attempted it, because it was very easy question. So for Ohm's law, you can simply connect a battery here. Okay, simply connect a battery, and in the series combination you can connect ammeter, because that can measure the ammeter can measure the current, so you can connect ammeter here. Okay, so this will be ammeter, and obviously then one resistance can be there, then obviously one rheostat can be also there, that is variable resistance, and one key you can insert here or not, that will depend on you. If you want to close this circuit, then you can insert a key here. So this will be the variable resistance. Okay, so you can mention it as a rheostat. So this will be rheostat obviously. So one voltage, so if you want to attach a voltmeter, then you can attach from here. So if you want to attach the voltmeter, then you can attach here, because voltmeter is always connected in parallel combination. So this can be the circuit diagram which can be used for to represent the Ohm's law, which can be used to verify Ohm's law. So it is V, and rest are the things you know better. So according to Ohm's law, potential drop across the resistance is directly proportional to I. Okay, then V, okay, then it will be V into 1 by R. This will be equal to I, and after that you will get the relation V is equal to I into R. So V is equal to I into R. This is the mathematical expression for Ohm's law. When we say about what do you mean by Ohm's law, then basically V is equal to, so V is equal to I into R. This is the mathematical expression. So basically definition is belonging to, definition will say the potential drop across the resistance, the potential drop across the two terminals of resistance is directly proportional to current which will be flowing through the current which will be flowing through the resistance. So this will be the answer, and after that you have to define the 1 ohm. So 1 ohm, to define 1 ohm you can take 1 will be equal to, okay, basically first of all you have to know that ohm is the symbol, ohm is the SI unit of resistance. So resistance will be equal to V by I. So let's take the value of potential equal to 1 and take I equal to also 1. So 1 by 1 will be equal to 1 ampere. From here you have to give the definition of 1 ohm. 1 ohm will be, can be defined in the form that the potential, the current, the resistance of a wire is said to be 1 ampere. Sorry, the resistance of wire is said to be 1 ohm if potential difference across the resistance is 1 volt and the current which will be flowing through the resistance will be also 1 ampere. So in this way you can define the value of resistance by taking the value of V and I 1. So the otherwise you can plot the graph of V versus I also. Some students I have not attempted the not drawn the given circuit diagram, not drawn the Ohm's law circuit diagram, and some students have drawn this VI characteristics. We are considering also that is the right answer and we are just deducting 1 mark. So this is V versus I graph, and if any student has drawn it here, because they all are right, nothing is wrong. So any graph between V and I in this way, that is right. So now 16 question has choice also. So its choice is state Joule's law of heating, and then we have to find the amount of heat generated. So firstly, Joule's law states that heat generated in a, wait for 1 minute please. So heat generated in a resistance will be directly proportional to time. Time means for how much time electric current will be flowing. It will be directly proportional to square of current I square, and it will be directly proportional to also value of resistance. So after combining these two, we will get heat is equal to, okay, make the correction here, spelling mistake I think must be there. So heat will be equal to I square R into T. So this is basically Joule's law of heating, and calculate the amount of heat generated. So this is the charge value given, and 1 hour in the 1 hour, and potential difference is 50 volt. So I hope it is clear. Heat is equal to I square into R into T. So I square means Q by T square. Obviously it will be, we can write it as heat will be equal to I square R into T. So we can write it as Q by T, because what is Q by T? That will be charge. So I is equal to Q by T. This is current basically. I Q by T square, I square into R. R means resistance. So then we have time. But in this question resistance is not provided. So chalo, if you have attempted the question right, because I think resistance should be provided, 18,000 coulomb and charge transfer 1 second. Okay, potential difference is also given Vi. Wait for 1 minute. Okay, if you do not have the value of R, then we can use the formula V into I. This is the formula for power, and V into I, heat transfer. So V into I into T, we can use this formula also. So V into I into T, we can use this formula also for the heat. So now you know the value of V, you know the value of Q by T. So here we can put the value of V. V is equal to 50. I is equal to Q by T, so it will be multiplied with 18,000 by time. So Q by T 18,000 by T into T. So time and time will obviously cancel out, so we are not supposed to convert hours into seconds. So time and time will get cancelled out, and 18 5 the in the calculation this will be 18 5 is the 90. So 90 into 10 raised to the power 4. So 90 into 9 into 10 raised to the power 5. 9 into 10 raised to the power 5 joule will be the right answer for this particular question. So this is the amount of heat that will be generated, 9 into 10 raised to the power 5. So I hope it is clear. So this is all from today's session. In today's session we have discussed the 5 questions that were asked in the unit test. If you find this video useful, then you can like, share and subscribe to our channel, and so for the further updates, share this channel with your friends. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. In the 25 minutes we have done the physics questions, so you can easily attempt, I think, within the 1 hour you can easily attempt, because I have to give the explanation also. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye, students.